Good morning, evening, or afternoon, depending on what part of the globe you're on and what time zone you are in. I am your host, Skeptically Speaking.
And I am Sweet Pea from across the pond.
And you found us on YouTube. But you can also find us on TikTok, Blue Sky, Discord, Instagram, Threads, Facebook, Kick, Rumble, Twitch, Twitter, and Substack. Did you know that? But if you want more independent media in your life, please consider supporting the show. Support us on Cash App, Venmo, and Patreon. Become a Patreon subscriber. We'd more than love to have you in the Skeptically Speaking family. Thank you for considering us. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Still got a little touch of the flu, but otherwise I'm doing okay. How are you doing, Skeptically?
Well, I'm getting my Gatorade down. Hopefully I can keep it down after the story we're going to be talking about. The normalization of Trump and Clown Car Posse, Pedo Clown Car Posse, is in full effect. They are going all out to run defense for their orange god because they know Orange Cheeto Mussolini is implicated in all the worst ways. Oh, yeah. And they're trying to normalize it. I mean, it gets pretty gross.
There is no normalizing it. A minor is a minor is a minor. Minors cannot consent. And, it's rape. It doesn't matter what age that minor is, whether they are 5, 13, or 15, they are still minors. That is still rape, and her trying to defend that is absolutely disgusting, vile beyond words, and we'll get more into that. You can have me on rants today, you know that.
That's okay. We're going to be taking frequent music breaks throughout the show just to break it up because it gets... You just feel... It's like you want to stop the show, take a long shower, and then come back. It's just... It's that gross. So, yeah. Buckle in. Buckle in. It's going to get pretty bad. It's going to get pretty bumpy.
I'm so glad I did not eat breakfast this morning. The only thing I'm having is a decaffeinated sort of toffee latte.
Megyn, the crippled stallion, I mean, she opened her fucking mouth. She opened her mouth. She decided to weigh in on the Trump Epstein email controversy because she knows it's going to hit the fan, and it's going to hit the fan hard. Anyway, I just want to get right into it. Let's just listen to Megyn Kelley. First, a commentary, I think.
As for Epstein, I've said this before, but just as a reminder, I do know somebody very, very close to this case who is in a position to know virtually everything. Not everything, but virtually everything.
So, the 5 degrees of Jeffrey Epstein. I tell you, in every part of the MAGA sphere of podcasting, somebody is connected to somebody who's connected to Epstein. In her case, it's only 3 degrees. She's only 3 people removed. Not even 3, that's 2, technically. You don't count Epstein, do you? She's 2 degrees removed. Or 1 degree, is that 1?
1, yeah. It
She
might
said,
be 1 degree because she personally knows Trump. She personally knows Trump, and Trump personally knows Epstein. So she's only 1 person removed from Epstein. So I think that would be 1 degree.
Okay, all right. But she's referring to somebody else. She's referring to an unnamed friend. And I believe she's telling the truth. She knows somebody who is very deep and knowledgeable of this case. I want you to listen carefully. I'm going to restart it.
As for Epstein, I've said this before, but just as a reminder, I do know somebody very, very close to this case who is in a position to know virtually everything. Not everything, but virtually everything. And this person has told me from the start, years and years ago, that Jeffrey Epstein, in this person's view, was not a pedophile. This is this person's view, who was there for a lot of this, but that he was into the barely legal type. Like he liked 15-year-old girls. And I realize this is disgusting. I'm definitely not trying to make an excuse for this. I'm just giving.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you are.
It definitely does, because like 15 at the end of the day is still a minor. So that would still make him a paedophile. I'm sorry, I'm not going into the different definitions of what different types of paedophilia there is out there. He is still a paedophile, and it is
A pedophile. I mean, yeah, there's like 3 or 4. It doesn't matter. He's a creepy child rapist. Stop right there. Matter of fact, Kelly, here's an idea for next time. Don't cite people like this. I mean, of all the things to talk about, you didn't even have to bring this one up. She's just volunteering information.
You facts. That he wasn't into like 8-year-olds, but he liked the very young teen types that could pass for even younger than they were, but would look legal to a passerby.
It doesn't matter if
and
legal.
That is what I believed, and that was what I reliably was told for many years. And it wasn't until we heard from Pam Bondi that they had tens of thousands of videos of alleged, forgive me, they used to call it kiddie porn, now they call it child sexual abuse material, on his computer, that for the first time I thought, oh no, he was an actual pedophile. I mean, only a pedophile gets off on young children abuse videos. She's never clarified it. I don't know whether it's true. I have to be honest. I don't really trust Pam Bondi's word on the Epstein matters anymore. Yeah, so I don't know what's true about him, but we have yet to see anybody come forward and say, I was I was under 10. I was under 14 when I first came within his purview. Look, you can say that's a distinction without a difference.
No, it's not.
I think there is a difference. Yeah. There's a difference between a 15-year-old and a 5-year-old.
Rape is still rape regardless of how old that person is, you degenerative pick me fucking Barbie. Ugh.
Like, it makes it but much better. It makes Jeffrey Epstein less of a monster? Is this what she's actually saying? Basically what she is saying, Jeffrey Epstein is less of a monster because he didn't go after 8-year-olds. He didn't go after 5-year-olds. Okay, there we go. Case closed. He's not as bad as people make it. You see what I'm saying? This is what she is saying. Unbelievable. It's
just disgusting, because at the end of the day, a minor is still a minor regardless of the age of that minor. Rape is still rape. You know, it doesn't matter what age the child is. They're still a child. They can't consent. It is fundamentally wrong. It is rape. It is paedophilia. It is disgusting beyond measure.
Yeah.
You know, if she wants to play a pick-me Nazi for paedophiles, she can do it on her own time. She doesn't need to be polluting the internet with this disgusting vileness.
To be honest, I'm glad they're actually saying it out in the open. We need to hear them say it. I want to hear them loud and clear where they stand on this issue. Or any issue. I want to know who they are. I want to mark them. And I want to say, hey, these people, this is what they believe. This is what they've said. This isn't hearsay. This is exactly what they have said. So there's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no, well, context. No. There's your context. There's your context. Loud and clear. Gross. Disgusting. Ick. Let's listen to an actual mother who gives a shit.
Not all mothers are built the same. Not all mothers see the world in the same way. Megyn Kelley's statements recently. I watched it 6 times. There was no differentiation for me between the ages of 5 and 15. There is no litmus test for me when it comes to abuse and pedos between the ages of 5 and 15, 15 and 25, 25 and 35, 35 and the grave, when we are talking about children, someone's children. I have come to the conclusion that there's disagreements among mothers on both sides of the aisle, regardless of your political affiliation. But there is a baseline in which we all possess, that we take care of our children, that we take care of others' children, that we look around and make sure that they are safe. And the benchmark is not 5 or 15, less than 10 is what she said. I was uncomfortable with the casual nature of the conversation, the way in which they were bantering back and forth as if they were talking about one person breastfeeding versus the other person using formula. The casual nature of the conversation concerned me. I listened to it 6 times, and I know that not all mothers are the same. Because the mothers that I know, the ones in my circle, could not speak casually about something so serious. Do not have a litmus test or a pendulum swing on whether a child is 5 or 15. Again, 15 or 25, 25 or 35, 35, or the grave. If you are talking about someone's child and abuse, and to do so casually, as if their abuse changes from one decade to another. We don't have to agree on everything, but there is something that we need to agree on. Not all moms are the same.
And not everybody should be a mother. I tell you what, man, her 14-year-old, if she isn't already screwed up, because so many of these kids that are raised in MAGA households end up just going hog wild on this disgusting conservative right-wing fuckstick bend. You know, it's just kind of depressing, because I mean I'm looking at when you look at Trump's kids and grandkids, yeah, they're seeing the writing on, they see where the money is, and they see that the criminality is what's bringing in the money, and they're going all in. Trump's granddaughter Kai, she's already into crypto schemes. She's already in trouble for infringements on clothing line logos and stupid shit. I mean, she's not even 20 yet, and she's already neck deep in legal trouble. You got Barron Trump, who is neck deep in the alt-right pipeline. Ted Cruz's kids, they've got to be almost adults by this time. Where are they going to be mentally, living in such a deranged household? And another name escapes me, but yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene's kid, Lauren Boebert's kid, his eldest son. Yeah, he's neck deep in some shit. They don't stand a chance. DJ Vance, we don't hear much from that perspective. I mean, who really knows at this point? But who's going to save these kids from their parents? You know, these are deranged lunatics they have no morals, no moral base, nothing. Except their white nationalist fascism. But, you know, it's just, the casual nature of it. And it's not a big deal, man. When I was a kid, I would have. How many men in the comment sections are like, man, if that was my teacher, my dad would high five me. It's like your dad thought like a rapist. And now you think like a rapist because you've picked up his same disgusting mentality. What a legacy to pass on to future generations.
Like, it shouldn't matter if the teacher is male or female. If they have any inappropriate contact with their students, that is rape, because students are minors at the end of the day.
Right.
And they shouldn't be trying to generalize and make it seem normal for a female teacher to be raping her male students. I'm sorry, that is vile,
Yep. Let's do another clip.
Share this immediately. I don't even care about likes or anything else. We just need to try to share this immediately. I don't even care about likes or anything else. We just need to try to break the algorithm because the Mango Mussolini owns this app and it will be taken down just like all of the others are, and it will happen quickly. I cannot ever remember being more sick to my stomach in my life. I just watched a major news host go on national television and casually downplay the abuse of 14 and 15-year-old kids. Kids! As if harming them is somehow less serious than harming younger children. As if there's some kind of sliding scale of humanity where older kids magically don't count. And she said it like she was talking about the weather. Like it was nothing. Like we're all supposed to nod along with this craziness. No, absolutely not. And we all know why this narrative is being floated right now. This is the warm-up act. This is the softening of the ground because there are powerful people, extremely powerful people who are terrified about what the public is about to learn. People with titles, people with offices, people with recognizable last names, and I don't care what fucking letter comes after their name. R, D, whatever. Because abuse is not partisan. Predators don't get to hide behind political branding. What we are hearing right now is the first attempt to rewrite the moral code, to normalize the unthinkable, to pre-excuse crimes against kids. Because the people involved are important. And it's fucking disgusting. And the fact that a woman with a national platform is out here minimizing the abuse of teenagers by calling them almost legal or barely legal. What are we even doing? What fucking timeline is this? Who benefits from this kind of framing? Because it sure the fuck's not the survivors. This is how the powerful protect the powerful. This is how grooming becomes misunderstanding. This is how exploitation becomes scandal. This is how crimes get rebranded as bad decisions. And I'm done. I am sick of this fucking bullshit. We should all be sick of this. All of us. These are children. They do not exist to be harmed, touched, preyed upon, or used by adults. Rich, famous, presidential, or otherwise. So when are we going to be done with this? Are you done? I'm done. When are we going to stop letting people with microphones shift the fucking narrative around abuse? When are we going to stop giving cover to the most powerful offenders in this country? Because I promise you this, the truth is coming. And no amount of preemptive spin is going to make it any easier or any less horrifying. Get in the streets and stay pissed off. It's time for billionaires to be behind bars.
Billionaires behind bars? What a concept.
Not only do they need to be behind bars, but let's make sure they're paying their fair share of taxes as well.
Well, what are they going to live on after that?
They can live on their nuts, for all I care. Sorry.
You want to be a billionaire? You gotta make $1 million every year. And then do it for 1,000 years without spending a dime. La-di-di-di. And if you make $1 million every year for 100,000.
Nope. It's worse. Yeah. So this is what we have to work with. Billionaires don't. When the last billionaire to ever get time in jail was a crypto thief. What the hell? Not Sam. Was his name Sam? Not Sam Altman. It was some other jackass that got busted for running Ponzi schemes in crypto. But yeah, billionaires as a default do not see the inside of a jail cell. Even Jeffrey Epstein almost didn't see a jail cell. The sweetheart deal he got from the Florida politicians was just unbelievable. Yeah. Yeah, it would have been in the US. Anyway, let's do another sound, or excuse me, a song break. Shall we?
I never let a pig talk. I won't pledge allegiance to a flag that when it's dead, or they're gonna treat us like we dead wrong. I want every Fed gone, every single agent. Fuck ICE and fuck Homeland and fuck the CIA, bitch. America is racist, these are cities on corpses. You disagree with lobbyists, you get deported. They gon' rip you from your wife and your unborn daughter. And if you look indigenous, might even get tortured. Guantanamo was open for business, and they filling it with everyone that's spoken against them. Political science majors and political prisoners. Breathe wrong and you can end up a victim.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy. But yeah, it just
Ready? All right. Where did that article? Where did it go? Oh my god. All right. No. Let me locate the tab.
okay, let's go to Christina Ricci, who has a brutal warning about Megyn Kelley after her latest remark about Epstein and his victims. Hollywood needs to start standing up and start speaking out. Because I am sick and tired of celebrities won't open their fucking mouths, won't speak out, won't say anything because they're afraid to lose a buck. November 14th, Ricci shared a pair of stories on her Instagram calling out Maga commenter Megyn Kelley, who seemed to downplay the crimes. No. She didn't seemingly downplay, she fucking downplayed them. And Christina Ricci didn't hold back. She says, there's definitely a difference between a 5-year-old and a 15-year-old, but that difference is not whether or not sleeping with them makes you a pedophile. She shared 2 posts from Betches News, the first which reads that, and the second post featuring screenshots from Kelly's interview with conservative journalist Batya Ungar Sargon on her podcast, The Megyn Kelley Show, where Kelly discussed the recent release of Epstein emails, blah, blah, blah. I know somebody very close to me. Okay, we already went through that. Ricci made it very clear how she felt about Kelly's comments and added text to Betch's news post. This woman is a danger to children. Yes, she fucking is. Yeah, no. We're not going to parse out her words and say, well, I mean, she did say this. No. Child sexual abuse material on his computer, adding that while that would qualify him as one in her opinion, I have to be honest, I don't really trust. Okay, yeah, so she's trying to downplay what was found on the computer. Whatever Kelly meant to convey during the interview by more or less downplaying the actions of Epstein, it's pretty clear that Ricci and the internet at large are not having it. Yes. People are upset by her remarks. To say this, here's a commenter who says, you should be ashamed of yourself. At what point do you abandon morals in order to please your boss network? Big yikes. Another commenter says, a 15-year-old is a child, period. There are no exceptions. This is horrifying. Glad somebody's keeping it real. SiriusXM refuses to comment. Well, don't forget, SiriusXM also had Howard Stern on their network for many, many years. And Howard Stern said some pretty nasty shit in his day. Megyn Kelley's comments justifying the pedophilic preferences of deceased sex offender has not been condemned by her platform. Yeah, just call it a platform by this time. SiriusXM. The Daily Beast has repeatedly reached out to SiriusXM for comment on Kelly's Epstein comments since she made them last Thursday. Yeah, and they have yet to receive or record a response. Kelly declared on her show last week that she agreed with a source of hers who told her from the start years and years ago that Jeffrey Epstein is in this person's view, was not a pedophile. Okay, so fucking what? Who cares what they said? Why would you even refer to them or quote them? Yeah, the Megyn Kelley channel, a 24/7 churn of Kelly's content that a SiriusXM press release said would expand her presence on the platform when the company made the announcement last month. While SiriusXM has nothing to say about Kelly's bizarre defense, there are many who do. Dem strategist Ali Samarco said predicted the comments would be career-ending for Megyn Kelley. Yeah, well, not necessarily. Daily Show co-host Josh Johnson joked that Kelly was promoting diet pedophilia with her comments. CNN host Laura Coates ripped Kelly for the comments after rolling the clip on air. You had to be under 10 to be preyed upon by a grown man? No, that's not the definition of pedophilia at all. Little House on the Prairie actress Melissa Gilbert wrote to Instagram, Megyn Kelley, you need to be careful with your words. What? You need to be careful with your words?
Careful.
What kind of a rebuke is that? SiriusXM expressed no qualms when reached. Okay, yeah, all right. Yeah, they don't care. SiriusXM doesn't care. You know, there is a lot of money to be made, and they're not going to miss a buck. It's going to be up to the consumers. It's only going to be up to the consumers to decide if anybody gets any consequences. You know, this has got to stop. Consumers who are on SiriusXM, do you take this, seriously? Do you care that the content that you're consuming is by a fucking rape apologist. You know, but you know, I can't expect Kelly fans, Megyn Kelley fans, to give a shit. But it's going to be up to the consumers. They are going to have to make the decision. You know what? We're canceling our subscription. We're done with SiriusXM. And that, putting your money where your mouth is going to determine how SiriusXM responds.
So it is definitely safe to say that Megyn Kelley is a pick-me for pedophiles.
Yeah. Basically. But, yeah, did you have anything else to add?
I honestly think the pick-me Barbie Nazi for pedophiles needs her computer checked. I really do.
Well, I mean,
it's absolutely disgusting. Her comments are disgusting and she needs consequences for that. At the end of the day, a minor is still a minor. And, you know,
this is what this is what MAGA brain leads you to. This is what total devotion syndrome to Trump. This is TDS, total devotion syndrome. This is what it leads you to. This is where you're in a place where you never thought in 15 years ago you would have laughed if anybody suggested that you would be making excuses for pedophiles and child rapists. You would have been shocked that anybody would even insinuate that.
I know. I can't believe that MAGA are honestly trying to defend pedophiles. I can't believe MAGA is trying to become the pick-me party for pedophiles. Like, have you no morals left? Have you got no conscience left? At the end of the day, a minor is still a minor.
Yeah.
You know? Oh my. It's so vile. It's disgusting. It's disgusting beyond words. Like, come on, MAGA, get your freaking heads out of your asses and sort yourselves out. This is not good enough. Hold these people accountable.
Let's do a song break.
I go on and on, can't understand how I last so long. I must have superpowers, rap 225,000 hours, get it calculated, do the math. I made 1,000 songs that made you move your ass, and for the last 300 months, I made 16 albums with me on the front, and they bump. Where you get your beats? I heard 93 rappers say bitch like me. 2 singers and 10 comedians, and I'm still gonna yell it every time you see me here. What's my favorite word? Bitch. Why they gotta say it like short? Bitch. You know they can't play on my chord. Can't hang with the big dogs, stay on the porch. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Where you get that from? Grab the mic, spit one. Let me hit that blunt. Pimp C, A ball, and MJG. Keep spitting that P to the IMP. Bun B, that's Texas, baby. Ballin' G, that's Memphis, baby. Short Dog, that's Oakland, baby. Ain't nothing but pimpin' these days, G. My homie C got locked up, but these real girls still know they got to roll. Give a fuck, nigga, what you say? Short Dog, fuck with UGK. Do you really wanna be like me? Spit game like Snoop and T.I.P. Pretty girls in the VIP, they came with Dre, they don't need ID. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. you've been wide awake for the last 3 days, popping pills, it goes down for real. Don't stop, just keep rolling downhill. Crash and burn, can't stand, fall back. You're doing too much, you can't handle all that. Man, it's been way too long. Time to let the whole world play your songs like me. My shit gets around, leave the country, come back and hit the town. I'm in Miami, New York, and ATL, Houston and LA. Ask Dave Chappelle about my rich girl. He got it from me and made $50 million. I'm proud of you, D, but I'm crazy. You don't wanna be like me. I come from East Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Bitch.
Just when you thought it was over, no, we got more.
I know.
If you want
I was enjoying that though.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, blow the whistle. Yeah, we could use a few blown whistles. But, yeah. But here's the song I was going to play earlier about being a billionaire. If I can get it to play.
If you wanna be a
Here we go.
billionaire, you gotta make $1 million every year. And then do it for 1,000 years without spending a dime. La-di-di-di. And if you make $1 million every year for 100,000 years, you still have less than the top 5 at this time.
But compounding interest and blah blah blah, sound investments and blah blah blah, risk assessment and blah blah blah.
Fuck your blah blah. Don't give me bullshit lines about that and credit. I'm simplifying so everybody can get it, because people work hard with billionaires smart, cause you don't make $1 billion with it. I said it.
Yeah, basically he's saying it. You don't become a billionaire by being ethical. So, yeah, there it is. Oh, speaking of rotten billionaires, let's go to the Walton family, shall we? Remember that controversy where Walmart just, suddenly accidentally started selling these Nazi T-shirts? It was kind of a play on words. Paper beats rock. Rock, paper, scissors. And you remember that game?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Okay, so you've got a hand fist raised in solidarity, and then you've got a Nazi salute over the fist. Get it? Paper beats rock. Fascism beats resistance. Get it? Isn't that funny?
That's gross.
No. Walmart has responded. It removed a T-shirt from its online marketplace and cut ties with a third-party seller responsible after a social media post ignited widespread backlash over its imagery, which some critics interpreted as a racist reference to the Black Lives Matter movement. Some critics have interpreted? There's nothing to interpret. It was in-your-face racism. A spokesperson for Walmart told Newsweek that the T-shirt, which read "Paper Beats Rock" and showed a white open hand hovering over a black clenched fist, has been removed. We have zero tolerance for any prohibited or offensive products appealing on our marketplace. The items in question were listed by a third-party seller and have been removed from our site, and the seller terminated for violating our prohibited products policy. When issues like this are identified, we act immediately to remove them and strengthen our systems to prevent a recurrence. The trust of our customers and the integrity of our platform remain paramount. The t-shirt came under further scrutiny after a Threads post questioned Walmart directly with the message, "Hey, Walmart, the fuck is this?" The post featured a screenshot showing the product listing and quickly gained traction, amassing 9,900 likes and more than 1,200 comments. It was shared to the Walmart forum on Threads, where users expressed shock, confusion, and anger. Critics interpreted the shirt's design again. A white hand in a posture reminiscent of a Nazi salute raised over a black power fist as symbolizing racial dominance. It's just like superior genes. Genes are passed down from parents to offspring. You know?
I'm sorry, but if it looks like racism and it sounds like racism, then it's racism. You know? Like, what's that saying? If it looks like a duck, if it walks like a duck, and it talks like a duck, it's a duck.
Yeah. Another posted, "Oh, America, land of my 1980s dreams. German in the UK here, watching your dumpster fire in absolute horror." A third user added, "Luckily, I haven't seen anything when I look it up, but still absolutely disgusting. If I do, I'm immediately reporting. That's so vile." Symbolism of the black clenched fist has long been associated with civil rights and resistance, particularly gaining renewed prominence on Blackout Tuesday. Held on June 2nd, 2020, in response to the deaths of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and 26-year-old Breonna Taylor. That campaign, organized within the music industry, evolved into a broader gesture of solidarity during the height of the Black Lives Matter movement. While some figured out that the offensive item came from a third-party seller, not everyone was satisfied with the conclusion. One viewer noted, "Why are people replying, 'Oh, it's not sold directly by Walmart,' as if that somehow means the massive corporation is completely innocent?"
Doesn't make it any better.
Well, because they couldn't possibly held responsible for the items being sold on their platform.
I'm sorry, even if it is a third-party seller, they are still responsible for each and every single item that is out in their shop. Whatever in their shop represents them as a brand. And if you have something inherently racist in that shop, that sort of taints the whole of your brand. I'm sorry, but
You would think, right?
I am going to be looking at Walmarts with a bombastic side eye from now on.
Mm-hmm. Celebration of cultural heritage. This is the product description. A celebration of cultural heritage. Yes. Which culture would that be? Online reaction overwhelmingly rejecting the notion. Social media users began organizing efforts to report the product, and by November 14th, listings had been taken down. I remember seeing pictures not too long ago. You know, it's just gross. You know, and don't get me started on. We got to talk. We're going to talk about Target once again, but it's not going to be anytime soon because we've got quite a few shows lined up for you. But yeah.
Do you want to see my face right now with Walmart? I'm going to be giving them the stinky side eye for a while.
Yeah, because that's just fucking crazy.
It's disgusting.
And there's that,
Like,
and then
you have a store, it is up to you. It is your duty to make sure, even if you have third-party sellers selling products at your store, it is your duty to oversee, to make sure those products that are being sold are up to sort of standards and not going against, are not being racist, are not being absolutely vile, you know? It's up to you to make sure that those things stay out of your store. Unless you want those things in your stores, then like fuck you for that.
that's okay. Here's the latest Christian freak out. Kat Von D won't be removing demonic cabinet from her house despite Christians' pleas. Kat Von D is a famous reality TV star who has become outspoken about her embrace of the Christian faith in recent years, has rejected calls to remove a cabinet from her home that some have deemed demonic. Girl, get out of there. You are in a cult. You are in a cult. The tattoo artist, who's well known for appearing on the former reality TV series LA Inc., has documented her recent conversion to Christianity on social media and recently addressed criticism she's received for sharing an image of what she described as one of her favorite pieces of furniture. In an Instagram video, responding to the backlash, Von D identified the piece of furniture as a cabinet that was hand-carved in the 1800s in the shape of a cello and commissioned by former French ruler Napoleon Bonaparte for his favorite cello player. Quote, I've gotten a ton of negative feedback from my fellow Christian followers who were calling the piece demonic and dark and telling me how I should just get rid of it and get it out of my house as soon as possible. And she said, vowing that will not be happening. After sharing a close-up footage of the cello-shaped cabinet and the homing in on its whimsical monsters, creatures, and musical instruments, she noted that it contains a plaque featuring the phrase that translates to "In God I have hoped" or "In God I have put my trust." Quote, Gothic architecture uses monsters all the time, and it's more for symbolic reasons. They're meant to teach the viewer about good versus evil. During the time that a piece of furniture like this was created, not a lot of people were reading. It was meant to be able to teach those moral stories to everybody, regardless of whether you could read or not. You have a bunch of followers that can't even read or reason. And you're trying to teach them what Gothic furniture and what Gothic imagery is all about. Von D insisted that these monsters serve as a reminder of all the chaos, the unruly human nature that is within all of us, and how it exists outside of the holy space of the church. Acknowledging that a lot of people, it's not the most beautiful thing to look at, to explore the dark corners of our hearts and reflect on the fallen nature of what it's like to be a human. She identifies herself as a hard-headed human. I really appreciate the daily reminders of all the things that we battle every day, all the evils that we're faced with all the time. I don't see it as something ugly or scary, and I think if things like this shake you and weaken your faith and weaken your walk with Christ, then don't look at it. But for someone like me, I don't feel like my faith is weakened in any way. My God, she is philosophizing. She is trying to reason with batshit crazy nutters.
She's not gonna get. Do you know? I remember when she first joined LA Inc.
Favorite piece of
like she used to be so like down. Not saying that she's not down to earth now, but she wasn't a Christian back then, and watching her add add to her sleeves and the rest of her body with her tattoos over the years. I mean, I'm not going to say I did have a crush on Kat Von. I did. I really did. But yeah, then she came out as Christian, and it was siding with Maga, and I was just like, that's not a crowd you kind of want to get mixed up in. They're kind of wanting to sort of be sort of. At the moment, Maga want to be pick-me Barbies for pedophiles. She wants to get out of that as soon as possible.
So I'm responding to this post. We're going to listen to it, but it says, I basically said, you are trying to reason with people who are in a cult and cannot reason or think. Good luck trying to reason with people who've rejected all reason. So this is her explaining the architecture.
This is furniture from my personal collection. It's that one right there.
Pretty snazzy. Got to admit, that's a pretty good collection.
And it is a cabinet that was hand carved in the 1800s. It was commissioned by Napoleon himself for his favorite cello player. So that's why it's in the shape of a cello. Surprisingly, but not surprisingly, I got a ton of negative feedback from my fellow Christian followers who were calling the piece demonic and dark, and telling me how I should just get rid of it and, get it out of my house as soon as possible, which will not be happening. Here is the beautiful piece. It has all these different little weird...
Oh, look at these scary images.
And creatures and musical instruments. And then here in this plaque right here, it is carved in Latin. It translates to, "In God I have hoped," or "In God I have put my trust." Gothic architecture uses monsters all the time, and it's more for symbolic reasons. They're meant to teach the viewer about good versus evil. And you have to understand, during the time that a piece of furniture like this was created, not a lot of people were reading. It was meant to be able to still teach these moral stories to everybody, regardless of whether you could read or not. These monsters serve as a reminder of all the chaos, the unruly human nature that is within all of us, and how it exists outside of the holy space of the church. I get it. I know for a lot of people, it's not the most beautiful thing to look at, to explore the dark corners of our hearts.
See, these are the same people. These are the same people that would burn history. These are the same people that would burn books. These are the same people that would, I'm telling you, they would torch entire museums to the ground to get rid of anything that they deemed heretical. And Kat, you've joined a cult of all the religions out there, Christianity. Why? You've got religions that are way older than Christianity. At least, if you're going to join a cult, join a cult with better books. That is a damn shame.
And reflect on the fallen nature of what it's like to be a human. It's a lot easier just looking at pretty flowers and butterflies all day long. And some people like that. And if you like that, that's cool. But for me, I'm a hard-headed human. And so I really appreciate the daily reminders of all the things that we battle every day, all the evils that we're faced with all the time. And I don't see it as something ugly or scary. And I think if things like this shake you and weaken your faith and weaken your walk with Christ, then don't look at it, But for someone like me, I don't look at
Amazing. She has more insight than these people that are so scared of their own shadows. one of them says, "Girl, you still dark at heart. Admiring the beauty in darkness is the definition of it." Okay. Yeah. Just reading some of these comments. Mostly they're positive towards her, but I'd like to see her original post where everyone's like, "Ooh."
I was just looking, that's a pretty chest. Nothing demonic about it.
Yeah, don't show this to the Apostle Paul. He'd tell you you weren't a real Christian. Get that. He'd tell you to burn it. You know, it's just, these people are just so stupid and miserable. A Rosicrucian here. It's like, man, have these people even read their Bibles? You know? And you know what's scary? Some of these very same people would be the ones that would literally burn her house down if they thought they could get rid of that demonic cabinet.
So there's actually nothing demonic about that cabinet whatsoever. I don't know what they're talking about. It's a bit like when they went off of saying that the boo-boos were sort of possessed.
Yeah. I mean, they're the ones who are worried about Pokemon. They're worried about Harry Potter. They're worried about Avatar. They're worried about they just worry about everything. Oh my God. These people are the Quakers of Christianity. And I think I know why they called them Quakers, because they were always quaking at the idea of the judgment of God. Oh, good luck, Missy.
That, and I don't feel like my faith is weakened in any way. So maybe next time, before commenting that super critical or judgmental comment to your fellow brother or sister in Christ, or even just to anyone for that matter, maybe just be quiet. I've always found it so much more inspiring and moving when people lead by example in their daily lives, instead of telling strangers on the internet what to do. Yesterday, I posted a photo of one of my favorite pieces.
Okay, Kat, first of all, this is what Christians do. This is what they excel at. Okay? They excel at this stuff. Telling strangers what to do and how evil they are and wicked they are. I used to be one. Do not expect, well, anyway, it doesn't really matter. Kat Vaughn on Instagram. Well, enjoy, I guess. Have fun in Christianity. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right. With that being said, want to thank you so much for keeping it real with us. Thank you for sticking it out. If you've been here for the long haul, we appreciate you. If you'd like to add us to your independent media of choice, we would love to be a part of that. Please consider supporting the show. Cash App, Venmo, or become a Patreon subscriber.
Thank you, and please leave us more comments, and don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate all you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being an amazing host, Skeptically.
Thank you. Thank you for having us, and we will see you on the next show. Take care, everybody.
Wake up, grab a brush and put a little makeup. Hide the scars to fade away. Why'd you leave the keys up on the table? Here you go, create another fable. You wanted to grab a brush and put a little makeup. You wanted to hide the scars to fade away the shake-up. You wanted to. Why'd you leave the keys up on the table? You wanted to. I don't think you trust in my self-righteous suicide. recommend my spirit. Father, into your hands.